Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be replacing the heater AC switch on my 2006 Chevy Colorado. I've been having some problems with it lately. The dial here, sometimes 4 cuts out and usually 3 doesn't work. And then there's an extra click here and it's quitting on me a bunch, so I went and bought one out of a salvage truck at a salvage yard. You want to make sure it has all these cables and on it so that you can connect it, make sure everything works correctly. Alright, so your first step, you're going to want to remove this gray cover here to expose your AC heater switch here, radio, all that kind of stuff. It's quite simple to take off, just held on by some clips. Just pull up top here, should give you a click. Just kind of got it just like that. And you kind of just follow it down. Sometimes it'll click off for you like that if you keep working on it. And then you'll have a couple wires you'll have to disconnect before you can get it completely out. If you can see, I already had my hazards disconnected. They're a little bit of a pain. There's a little clip and a notch that you got to slip the notch over on the wiring. And then your 4-wheel drive connector switch there, which is quite simple, just to pop out one-handed, if you can believe that. And then you can just kind of put it off to the side till we put it back on after we replace it. Then after you get the gray cover off, you'll take the glove box off here so that you can better see where you're putting your cables and what everything's connected to. Your glove box is just held on by, kind of tough to see here, but right here there's 3 7mm bolts that hold in the glove box. You just need to unscrew those. I'm using a nut driver. I find it easiest for me. You can use your socket, your wrench, your whatever you prefer. I'm sure everyone else has their different preferences. Once you get them all off, make sure you keep them all in the same area. I'll put mine in my cup holder. Then you just undo the latch and it just comes off like that. Put that off to the side. You won't be using that for now. So next step, after you have everything exposed, time to take off the heater switch. So same size as your glove box, just held on by 2 here, 1 here, 1 up top. Fairly simple, just unscrew them, have them on tight. Kind of hold it up so it's easier for you to take your bolts out. I wouldn't keep them in the same place as your other bolts so you don't get mixed up. Find another place for them to stay while you're doing your work. And then it should just kind of pop off like that. So it's really important that you make sure you follow your wires here so that you can see where your new ones go. It makes your life a whole lot easier. So if we're gonna follow those cables, you take your controls wherever you want it to blow. Follow that, goes up over here by steering wheel and all that. And goes right there to that little white lever there. And then if you take your heat and AC control, follow it around, it goes right there to that white lever. So it's fairly easy, both white levers. And then you'll need to take your wires off here. So those are simple, you don't need to follow those. Just go right there. On your big one here, you can see it's held on by a little push pin there. You can use a screwdriver if you want. I'm just going to use my finger. See if I can get it out one-handed. I might have to put you guys down. Yeah. So you'll just push that pin in. Should pop out like that. Just like that. And then the little one here is connected by a little chip here. I have a screwdriver that I'm going to use to help me kind of pry it off. Try not to break it. Just simple as that. You won't need, mine came with new cables, so I'm just going to take all these off and replace them with the old ones. If you saw when I was showing you before, most of them are held on by those little iron clips there. Just like that. Oh, another important step before I forget. Turn your switches to a control that is easily remembered, so that when you put the new one in, it matches. So mine's on defroster, and that's all the way to the right here. And then I just pop that off like that. Careful not to break. There's a little pins here that keep this on. That should be the only clip that's holding it on. And then it pulls out. And it's pretty much the same thing over here on your driver's side. It's just kind of a different latch because it's laying in a different position. Sorry for the bad view. I'm trying to get it out. What? There we go. There. So then, after you do that, see, I can disconnect it. And then I had it all the way to the front. And then just slips out like that. And now you have your AC heater switch out. So then, I always like to compare the parts before I put them in. The funny part about this is the replacement is actually from a 2006 GMC Canyon. Same thing, General Motors company, nothing different about it. Works the same. Everything looks to be in tip-top shape here. So I'm gonna take mine, put it back to all the settings that I had my one in before. And then you'll just reverse the process. So, whoa, there we go. You'll take this, your heater and your AC goes back towards your glove box. That's your longest one, so I'd start with that one. And then your blower controller. That's what I've been looking for the whole time. So then you'll just, it fits just like the old one does. So we'll start with this one since it's easiest. Mine kind of wrapped around and then came back. Just kind of clip it in there like that. Push it back in that little clip there. Just like that. Just loop around just like that. Perfect. And then next, you'll get your other cord. If I can find it, where'd it go? There we go, now I got it. Kind of dangling down here. There she is. So here's this one. I'll try and get you as much light as I can. Like I said, not the greatest place for camera work, but it goes right back in that clip. Oh, so when they took this one off, they actually had the clip from the old truck still on it. I'm gonna take that off. I don't really need to replace it. Oh. Then you just kind of do the same thing. Clip that in. Kind of push it there. And it just clips back in there. Just like that. Pretty simple. And then once you have all that done, you can reconnect your wires and all that stuff. Just like that. They just push back in. Just, you don't need to push the clips or nothing. It's just simple little pushing them. And then before you get it all back on, I like to take my keys, turn on the truck. It's gonna throw up four-wheel drive issues because four-wheel drive is disconnected. As you can see, everything, it's lighting up, it's glowing right here, perfect. AC, you guys can't tell, but it is getting hot, middle of summer, so I'm gonna stop doing that. So everything seems to be back in working condition. The only thing left is put your truck back together. Put the screws back in this, bolts, I should say, sorry. Connect your wires, glove box, put your cover back on, and you're good to go. So thanks for watching this video. See you on the next one.